It's October 12th, 2021. So I'm watching this morning I'm watching CBS this morning, Talk of the Table. They're mentioning about writing letters. They said that in the past year, 31% of Americans have written letters. Like, now, is that by paper and pen, or are those just emails? Because that gets confusing. And then they said 15% have never written a letter. I really think it's much more substantial than that. Then I hear humans, like, when I ask questions and stuff, like, I've heard people say, well, write a congressman. Now, that's an interesting thing. Where do you find a congressman? Like, around the general public in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, if I go to the post office, they don't have addresses listed for congressmen. If I go to the police department, they all say go online. I'm like, that doesn't work because there's nothing verified or real on the internet. It's a whole lot of lies. So that's not going to work because where's the community leader that says, then I heard some human on the TV today say something along the lines of some kid went missing, they found him, and something about Bible studies. And I'm like, Bible studies? Now, the Bible of an area for security used to be like the go-to piece. We don't have anything like that in New York. I don't know why. But we also don't have Bible study ever since I've arrived in Century 19, Decade 7, plus 8 years. So I don't know what that means to other humans. I just know in this North America, in this state of New York, there's been no Bible study available to someone like me. But again, it's hard to find these pieces to put my own puzzle together. And then it goes on to, there's something called epidemiology, which is the study of bacteria and viruses. And then these humans use these big quantitative computers and they put in sequences and codes and all sorts of stuff, and they reprogram the virus and bacteria into new problems for plants, crops. I mean, they use them as weapons. Like, you all make it like they're all doing something really great. No, the world's not working. They're not doing anything great. But then I look and I'm like, now how many of these fuckers did they let into this industry called, like in quantum computing, called computer engineering, bioengineering? I mean, these are not environmentally friendly sciences. In fact, how many scientists have they graduated? I mean, if you want to know, like, an execution list of really dangerous people you got walking out there like contract problem makers for hire, there's a whole degree system you all created in Humanville of people that should have never been. Why do they even allow computer engineering to be, like, why would they encourage hackers, which then are life hackers and hijackers that cause disease? They create the disease purposely. In fact, they just said that there was this one guy, he's in Boston, he left the epidemiology lab to go learn about farming. I'm like, so now I don't understand, like, how the last 43 years, the last 4 decades have behaved. But what I don't understand for sure is why they're encouraging microbiologists and epidemiologists to create things like vaccines, which actually are a computer virus they give your body, your anatomy, that has some unknown future consequence. And then they fight over who gets to be the main biological sequencing programmer once they already hook your anatomy with some kind of bacterial I call it interferon, but it's, they mess with the transcriptor, and the recipe card that you were born with is pretty much what it is. I mean, I don't understand, how can Washington DC or the United States or Providence or anything allow these people to exist in any form of society or community? And why would they promote it to just anyone?
But it seems like it's going down.
It's dipping.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What's really interesting in the poll is you would think older Americans are still writing letters, younger Americans.
And then I'm thinking, okay, so now if you really did need, which I know you don't, some of these things, what's the quantity on it? How many do you really need? Like, what's the cap? Like, what, you need like 20 kids that know how to read DNA sequence? Great. Why is there hundreds of thousands walking out in major cities that know how to use computers, a regular laptop computer, to create really dangerous chemical signatures, biological signatures, and interfere with just an average citizen for a coin? Why would this be an enhanceable career field everybody just sits around and allows? I'm just curious, because I know it has something to do with, well, the ports and with imports and blah. Right, you got it. But you let these shitbags import all this stuff, including their kids. Now they're here and they're like tyrannical bullies, and then they threaten everybody now with simple laptops to hurt your biology. How did you even let it get this bad? Adults, especially baby boomers age, like my father's age, when they were doing all of that rally funding for nanotech and biotech and selling it like it was cancer, like cures. No, it fucking wasn't. What they were doing was rallying to build more hospitals and more lab facilities. So now there's more chaos in the body structure and in the environment outside. And I don't see it getting better because there's no benefit in actually doing the right thing anymore.
Younger Americans are not, it's equal. The rates are equal across ages.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit of a romantic, so I try to write a poem to my wife at least once a year. So let me tell you guys, when you're dating, or you're engaged, or you're married, just put a little pen to paper. I'm telling you, that right there, get your lady going.
Once a year. I like how you think, Nate. Number one, he has date night. You've heard this.
Yes.
His date night once a week.
Yeah.
So now you're writing poetry once a year.
It just shows a little bit of effort. Now, I may forget to take the trash out every once in a while, but if I write something down on paper, the wife loves it.
Yeah, I 100% endorse it.
I like it too.
Yeah, I think you're
Mrs. Burleson, very lucky. I could cry right now, but I won't. Turning now to the record, I'm so happy for Mrs. Burleson. Turning now to the record number of Americans leaving their jobs in what's being called the Great Resignation. 4 million Americans quit in July. 4 million, that's according to the
4 million quit in July. I find that interesting. I can't find a single job, but yet 4 million jobs apparently became available that I'm like, again, I can't even find where the local elected official is in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York. Where do they find these names? There's no like town hall and a placard. There's no anything like substantial that points to like, here's the decisiveness of our community, because you gotta remember, I'm on foot at this point. So wherever I have no money for bus fare, I have no car access because I have a problem with Tia Frio getting tickets on my car. So now my license, I don't know, has some problem with it. So now I'm strictly on foot, walking around, trying to look for employment and to look for some form of leadership, while being poisoned, might I add, by the local air with different chemicals, gas signatures of one area has like a fishy smell, but they seem to be deodorizing it, and the other area has a rotten egg smell that I called in twice, but it's been there for a while, and it's really painful on the lungs when you have to breathe and walk and then you get out of breath. So
Recent data that we have. At the time, the number of job openings stood at a record-breaking 10.9 million. The pandemic is
where are these job openings? I even spoke to my son Benjamin. He's like, Mom, he's like, you just go on Indeed. He's like, look, DMV's hiring all this stuff. I'm like, right. I've done this online crap before. I was like, I put the resume on there. I spend hours weeding through different job things, putting myself out there. I was like, I got 3 calls, and all 3 were 100% commission, which means I put in, like I did with Rich McClellan, I go 4 years worth of work, and then something changes, and I get fucking screwed, and I get like 50,000 for 4 years worth of work, which accumulated a whole lot more. I'm done with your fucking human shitbags.
has prompted millions of us to re-examine our lives. Are
Money
you really
mechanics
happy?
don't work
Some
in the
younger
United
workers are
States of
leaving their fresh
America.
degrees and budding careers for entirely different fields.
This is
Janet
all
Schiff
lies
shows
because it
us.
doesn't actually